Look, that's been some wonderful advice, and I know we're right up against it. And there's a couple of people asking if there's another session. There is another session following this, so stay tuned. And I'd like to leave maybe with just a very quick piece of advice from each of you. So, if you could share a piece of advice, what would you put forward as your sort of takeaway from a session? You know, whether it's about technology or leadership or financing or what are your helpful tips? So maybe we go back around. Maybe Carmen, we start with you again. If you have sort of a last tip or a bit of advice for our audience today.
I think my tip would be to intentionally seek out a good advisor, whether that's male or female. But I've only recently really had a coach and an advisor to my business, and it's been so life-changing for me in terms of my confidence. Just someone there, you know, that knows the business. I can pick up the phone, they know where I'm at, and I didn't have that for many years, except my husband, who's been also very supportive. But just someone outside of my family has been fantastic. So look for an advisor or a mentor and make an effort to find someone that suits you.
That's a great suggestion. Mel, would you like to go next? Just any sort of parting thoughts or advice? For the audience?
I'd say let's have a think. You know, there's probably going to be challenges. There's going to be no's along the way, and you know, things like this. But I'd say, you know, take each one of them as learning opportunities and growth opportunities, and as a way of, you know, getting stronger. There's always a way to learn, and just be brave and be bold and push through and step into the light. I know there's some amazing, you know, females in tech, and, you know, step into the light and be role models. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love that. Sheila, over to you.
Well, it's just, you know, adding to what Carmen and Mel have said already, and Carolyn has said in the last chat. Basically just JDI. I'd normally have a JF at DI in there as well, but I'll take the F out for today. But yeah, JDI, right? You know, don't let all these obstacles, there will be challenges, but just keep going, right? And then, you know, so just take baby steps every day towards whatever it is that you're wanting to do, whether it's actually kicking off your own tech business or you know, going into the tech world or something like that. Just keep going, because I mean, seriously, if I'd have thought about all the things I would have had to go through when I first started this business, I probably wouldn't have done it. But because you're just biting the elephant bite by bite, you know, by the time you look back and you think, oh my God, wow, look where I am now. You know, all these things that I've done and achieved, and then you're on to the next thing. So it's just perseverance, patience, just take each day as it comes, but just keep going and just do it. Is basically what I'd say.
Thank you, Sheila. And Carolyn, the last word with yourself.
I'll have two, if that's all right. The first one is ABM, always be mentoring. So always have a couple of people behind you who you can give a leg up to and open doors for and show them the shortcuts. And then personally, learn to sell, because I would have scaled my business a lot quicker if I was a bit more eloquent in the way that I was trying to sell. But again, I was learning on the job. So whether that's selling your product, selling your concept to investors, or selling yourself for promotion in the corporate world, I would really just throw everything at it in terms of books, TED Talks, training courses, going to conferences, because that's the thing that's going to get you where you want to go faster.
Well, we've had some wonderful advice and tips there. I'm sorry we've ran slightly over with session 1. Session 2 is coming up right now, but I just want to say thank you to our panel today. It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to spend some time with Carmen, with Mel, with Sheila, and with Carolyn. And with that, I'll hand you back.
As we close the event, what is the final thought that you would like the audience to take away with them? Something that built you up, helped you? Yes, Karen, please.
Yeah, for me, leadership has to start with self-awareness. Spend some time with yourself. Know what your triggers are. Know what your best day and your worst day looks like, and just be at peace with yourself. and accept yourself first, and then be prepared to be authentic and share who you actually are with others.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think it's important that you need to praise yourself and you do well, and forgive yourself if it doesn't go as well also. And for me, and building on what you've just said, Karen, is I am a true believer not only in the self-awareness, but getting out of your comfort zone. At least once a year, I try to do something completely off the wall, like walk on fire or jump out of an airplane or whatever, just to get out of my comfort zone, because that way I start to get out of my way. And I think that's really important as well.
Yeah. That's how we grow. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting, Joanne. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I will do stuff that will completely challenge me, that most people would never even dream of. But I do think that it's important to remain genuine and authentic, and understand that as humans, yes, we are there to lead by example, etc. But we also have our own faults. And we need to recognize that we're not necessarily perfect or right every time, and that's really important. One of the things I do want to address is somebody actually did ask a question in the chat about, he said he was quite concerned that we all sound like we're doing it on our own, with other leaders just to talk to once a month or so. Yes, it does sound like we're doing it all on our own, but we're not. And I think I speak for Carolyn and Joanne probably here. There's a lot that we do on our own, but ultimately, for me, the way that I am able to do what I do is because of my support network. And I would never recommend doing it. I've been there, done it on my own, and then I've had a co-founder, and it has been so much easier to make decisions, so much easier to ensure that you can bounce your ideas off, etc. And also the teams, the people that you surround around you doesn't necessarily have to be those that you work with or are in a business relationship with. There's family, friends, etc. that can all be supportive. There are so many support networks out there. And for me, the one thing that stands out, I think for me, is I've only really connected quite recently with Startup Grind. And I was actually, much like Sheila on the previous panel, I was selected to go to Silicon Valley and pitch in Silicon Valley. And this network has been phenomenal for me. When I applied for it, I had never even heard of Startup Grind. So it has been phenomenal. And even though I'm relatively new in tech, it doesn't necessarily have to be in tech, but the network and the people are all looking for the same, we're all looking for the same things. We all want support. We're all maybe a little bit lonely in our journeys. We want somebody to go to ask questions, etc. Use your networks. If there's one thing I'm going to leave you, is use those networks, because everybody is in the same boat and everybody wants to achieve the same things out of it. So the networks can be where you can find your day-to-day support, or your family support maybe isn't there or isn't quite what you wanted it to be. Jump on and speak to some of the guys in the Startup Grind. Complete strangers, you will get so much support there. That's kind of the last thing that I wanted to leave that at.
Wow, thank you very much, Beena. That's amazing to hear. I know the Scottish team has been extremely supportive. I mean, flying 20 scale-ups to Silicon Valley, it's an amazing achievement.